Preston City Oval for the first semi-final.
Florence and Howard doing the ruck work for their respective sides. Howard jumps over the top and misses the ball. Florence taps it down to Jobby, sends it inside forward 50, but the relieving mark is taken for the Borough. And they'll move the ball out of defensive 50 in the McCubbin direction. Goes ahead of him, eventually gets the handball over. Goes with a quick one to Andronako, but misses him and finds its way over the boundary line for the first throw-in of this afternoon, right in front of Jason Heatley and the North Heidelberg bench.
Of course, Jason Heatley could be his last game as North Heidelberg coach today after announcing early in the year that he would step down. The ball gets tossed back in. Howard straight to Hasler, so he'll get a clearance here for the Boroughs. They send it towards half forward, floats in the air. Didn't favour anyone with that bounce. Bulldogs with the numbers will win it back. Chance here for Brody White. He's got Jobby on the lead. This is Ben Jobby who takes a nice mark in front of Fitzgerald. Jobby, defensive side of the wing, looks to go inboard with the kick. It didn't favour on that occasion Mapleson, although the Bulldogs still win it back. Mapleson got the hands away from Hunt. Mapleson didn't control the footy, but he's kept it in front of him well, confronted by a couple of Borough players. 1-2 with Tardio. Mapleson still with the footy in hand. It'll be a perfect start for the Bulldogs, but he misses to the right-hand side, and the first score of the third semi-final goes to North Heidelberg. They're one behind. Greensborough at the score.
Brock Chirk was about 20 metres in space there, but North Heidelberg just weren't able to find him quick enough.
There's a kick out of defence, comes to Brindley, moves it by foot, gets his handball smothered by Brody White, and eventually finds its way over the boundary line. So ball on the outer side of Preston City Oval for the first time this afternoon. It was Kyle McDonald who won the toss and chose to kick to the city end, which, if you've been to Preston City Oval before, you know there's always a strong breeze heading to that city end. And it's no exception today as the umpire brings the ball back into play. Howard gets two hands to it, brings it to ground. Ferronato has it, but he's wrapped up by two North Heidelberg opponents, and we'll have a secondary stoppage on the corner of this centre square. Howard and Florence go at it again. Tap comes down to Hasler, who's tackled immediately by Wallace. And the umpire will call for a stoppage for a third time on that outer side.
2.25 minutes gone in the first semi-final. One behind to the Bulldogs. Greensborough yet to score. Clearance here from North Heidelberg. Hangs in the air. Bounce just in front of Tardio. Out of room. We'll have boundary throwing. What are you noticing early team matchup-wise? It seems like there looks to be some set combinations already around the field.
Yeah, I think Mick Fawn on Heatley is a really interesting matchup. I thought it was possible before because that just allows Johnston to play that intercept marker role. He started straight from that opening centre bounce on his own, so that's going to be probably his role today.
Bulldogs with another chipping ball closer to goal, but there is that man you mentioned, Jack Johnston, right on cue with an early intercept mark. He's in the back pocket on the outer side, and he takes it away from defensive 50. Again, that really hangs in the air, and at the end it was only North Heidelberg who were able to win this footy back, and they'll look to re-enter the 50. Call to play on now, 60 metres out from goal. It's a deep kick. It will carry the distance, but it was too wide and out of bounds. On the full is called, so the Borough will regain possession, and Joe, it looks like they're just going to have to absorb these early press from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, definitely. Both sides just need to adjust to that wind a little bit. Johnston, that long high kick just held up, and North Heidelberg read that one well, but the kick inside forward 50 just overcooked it slightly. As Sievers brings this one in, he's gone long and high as well, and once again it's going to hold up on that outside. Mark almost taken by Smith, but he brings it to ground. Now a couple of handballs, one towards Brody Bell. Can't find him and trickles over the boundary line. About 75 around from the city end goals where North Heidelberg are kicking in this first quarter. Ball back into play. Neither ruck able to get a tap down. Florence takes possession, but it's snatched away from him by a Greensborough opponent and wrapped up on the same spot as that first stoppage. So Howard gets a tap down. Ferronato's in there. Tries to get a handball out. Eventually does find its way to White, but now the Borough are away.
And they will look to go through the middle of Preston City Oval. It was a very high ball. The only one really there to take the mark was Mapleson. He was able to get it going for the Bulldogs. They go inside 50. Not a great bounce there for Heatley. It's going to be McFawn who might be happy to see this over. No, happy to keep that ball in play instead. Left foot down the line, but it's all North Heidelberg. Smith hands it back to Wallace. Now centre wing is Brody Bell. He'll go towards half forward, and it's going to be cut off here again, this time by Greensborough, though McCubbin couldn't lay the tackle on Chirkop. Brindley now coming in for support. Now have a ball up between wing and half forward for the Bulldogs.
I see that number 9 on the North Heidelberg, and I always want to call Harvey, but
of course,
Lachlan Smith inherited that number for the Bulldogs. Boundary umpire rocking the headband. We'll throw this ball back in.
Very nice.
And Florence and Howard both get hands to it, but it comes down in favour of the Borough. Ferronato gets the handball away to Hasler, who sends it over the head of Zach McCubbin. He'll run onto it. He's got Kyle McDonald in chase. Spins around and goes inside forward 50 in the direction of Andrew Narco. He's got 2 to contend with outside of the boot. Mark is taken. Inside forward 50 for Greensborough. And they'll have a shot at the first goal of this afternoon through Benjamin Fisher.
And that was really great play there from Greensborough. Just all of the players taking their moments. Andrew Narco just lowering the eyes and finding a target in Benjamin Fisher.
Slight angle to speak of, kicking towards the market end. Umpire has to work, fading to the right, but he's got it through for the first goal of this afternoon here at Preston City Oval. It is Benjamin Fisher and the Greensborough Football Club. 1 straight 6, leading North Heidelberg 1 behind.
Fantastic work there, Andrew Narco, just to measure himself and not let the chance of a shot on goal get to him. He just measured the kick nicely to find Fisher.
Even when that ball went over the head of Zach McCubbin, he was composed enough to take possession, get around his defender and get it inside forward 50 in the direction of Andrew Narco. So set up well by the Borough. And against the momentum, they've got the first here at Preston City Oval.
We go back in the middle. It's Howard and Florence, both ruckman getting a tap, looking to get it to Hunt, but it'll be Solomon who clears it away to Wallace. It was a looping handball. Wallace did well to get away. Now Warsdorp wants to go towards the outer side, and it's a good mark taken by Hunt. Back to Solomon, who kept running, but he was confronted immediately by the Borough, and they'll have it again. So, well, just early as well, that last contest by Ferronato pulled up a little sore, but was able to get back to his feet eventually. Here's Howard looking for O'Sullivan. In there is Brody White giving him lots of pressure. But that ball again not going anywhere for the time being. Or an umpire happy to hover for a little more. Now he'll take it with him again. So we're just outside 50 on the outer side for the Bulldogs. They trail by 5 points. Howard mistimed the jump. Florence was able to get it over to Jobby, although he's set upon by Fitzgerald. So the clearance goes Greensborough's way, and Brindley, man in front, was able to take the relieving mark, and they'll look to keep using the outer side now. Will Greensborough. Chance here for Ben Ham. Enters towards half forward. Kick not great. Umpire says not 15. McCubbin tries to pick it up on the bounce. Couldn't control it. Warsdorp coming in hard. Too hard, in fact, and he's given away the push in the back free kick. So McCubbin will have it forward of the wing on the outer side. Looks to send this one in. It's a great kick as well in the end. And Greensborough can get it all the way towards the pocket, which they will. And Fisher again with a nice mark. This one a much tougher angle for him, but I'm sure he's learnt plenty from his first set shot, and we'll look to make it 2 goals in a couple of minutes for Greensborough. Benjamin Fisher, who kicked his 10th goal of the season just a moment ago. He's on the outer side. Very tight angle to speak of, but that was fantastic, and he loved it straight off the boots. Fisher's got 2, so did Borough. They've got a great start to this first semi-final. They're 2 straight 12. North Heidelberg are 1 behind.
Yeah, it's been a great start for Greensborough. The 2 times they've looked to go inside 50, they have scored, and looks like they've recognised last week with the inaccuracies. They're aiming for that left goal post against the wind, and with those 2 set shots from Fisher, they've been clinical.
And a bit of an unlikely target up forward. 9 goals in 15 games in 2024. And all of a sudden he's kicked the first 2 of this final. And providing a bit of a spark for Greensborough, kicking against the breeze in this first quarter. But we are back in the middle now. Howard's able to get the tap down, but it's sharked by Hunt. Gets it over to White, whose scrubber kick finds its way inside forward 50. Lands in the hands of McGubbin, shirks a tackle, but coming through his Chirkop, sends one towards goal. And North Heidelberg with a quick response. And their first of this final. Brock Chirkop kicks the Bulldogs first. 1-1-7, trailing Greensborough 2 straight 12.
Lovely finish from Brock Chirkop. Knows exactly where the goals are and just read the ball well. Was able to escape the wind and a really nice finish on the run, and that will lift the confidence of North Heidelberg, who were in a bit of danger already early in the game with the Borough kicking the first two, but they're on the board. They now trail by 5 points at the 10-minute mark of this first term. Rucks go at it again. Here's Florence, who's been solid throughout the season, really.
Brent Harvey on the ground for North Heidelberg, and it's Joseph Aiton Delaney with the job on him.
Ball gets tossed up again. This time grabbing it was Howard, but the umpire said he disposed of it incorrectly when he tried to get it over to Panham, so the Bulldogs will win it back, and it's going to be sent in long and deep here by White. A couple of flies. One of them was Heatley. Offhand, Sievers running out of room. Holding the footy. Great tackle from Dane Whitnell. And the Bulldogs now have a chance to hit the lead after conceding the first 2 goals of the game. It's going to be a blood rule for the Borough, so there'll be some time. But Dane Whitnell will now look to kick his 30th senior goal from a 45-degree angle. 45 metres out, of course, spent some time with the Bull Ants in the VFL this year. Just 4 games for them. 17 majors in 21 games last year. Just the 11 goals this season. Has played down back at certain times this year. But this to be the dream response to the Bulldogs after conceding the first 2 goals. He has worked that nicely. And Whitnell gets on the board for the Bulldogs, and they regain their lead, 2-1-13. Greensborough 2 straight 12, 11 and a half gone first term.
That's exactly what you want to see in a final if you're a North Heidelberg fan. Just that offensive pressure in their forward line from Dane Whitnell, laying a big tackle and then just having the composure to go and back himself in and kick the goal. And now North Heidelberg take the lead by a point.
So a bit of chat inside the forward 50 for North Heidelberg. Gained some ascendancy after conceding the first 2 goals to Greensborough, but ball back in the middle now. Florence and Howard both get hands to that tap. It's slammed forward and a big bump laid by Jesse Tardio. Eventually finds its way out to Braden Hurt on the wing, who goes over to Hunt with the hands. Runs over the Northern Football Netball League logo and gets a short kick to Tardio. Almost smothered as he kicked in the direction of Harvey. Aiton Delaney comes over the top while with the fist. It falls in the hands of McGubbin, who just slaps it forward. Andrew Narco's there for the Borough, but a big pack of players pile on top of that ball, and it will be wrapped up inside forward 50. North Heidelberg looking for their 3rd straight goal after the Borough kicked the first 2.
Giving plenty of attention to Harvey here in the forward 50. It'll be Greensborough to emerge with the football and get the clearance, albeit not too consistent. Smith didn't get a great bounce, so he just had to thump it in the Brindley direction. He found Glenn, and he goes down the line looking for McCubbin, but it was too wide. McDonald was right behind him anyway. We'll have a boundary throw in defensive side of the wing for Greensborough. So boundary throwing. We're 13 and a quarter minutes gone in this opening term. Bulldogs are 2-1-13. Greensborough 2 straight 12. The winner of this match to play Montmorency next week's prelim. Rucks go at it again. Smith doing that ruck work, but it's Hunt, and he's able to find Maynard. He goes inside 50. Heatley's got a one-on-one that he likes. Got 2 hands on it. Not getting there front and centre. It was Harvey, and getting wrapped up here was Hamish Murphy. So we're going to have a stoppage. We're about 35 out from the Bulldogs' goal. They are looking to extend this margin. Panham confronted and getting some hurt there was Mapleson. Greensborough not clean enough to get it out by hand at the moment. They eventually work it nicely, and it's a chance here for Walsh. His kick was a bit too hot on that occasion for Blakely. He's confronted by a couple of Bulldogs. Ball to deck. Tardio goes in hard and found space when there wasn't any. He goes towards half forward with this kick. Bouncing ball here for Ben Giobbi. He's got runners left and right of him. Just tracks back for a second, and continuing that run was Jake Brown. He marks 55 out. He's off his line, though. Umpire says to play on. He kicks it to Harvey. He's got 2 to beat, and Greensborough, no problems through Johnson, clear their lines.
So out of defence now, finds a target on the lead. Still defensive side of centre wing. It is Blakely. His kick intercepted, brought to ground by the Bulldogs. Doing well to keep it in is Brindley. Just dashes away from that pack inside forward 50 for the Borough. Over the top, but the one-handed mark is taken by Warsdorp. And he'll relieve for the Borough. Short to Tardio. He's going to go out of side, pushes his kick. Whitnell gets it on the half volley, but he's tackled straight away. And the umpire will call for a ball up on the corner of the centre square.
So we're about 60 metres out from the Borough goal. Broadcast side, Whitnell the only one to go up in that ruck contest. Almost got to Tardio. Hunt took it instead. And then that chipping ball's a nice one to find Braden Hurt. Hurt's on the wing. Still more towards half back. He wants to go central. Nice ball to find Tardio. Wanted to give it to Smith, but he was standing still, so opted to now boost this ball laterally, and it's a good one to find Ben Giobbi, who wants to quickly get it. Not a great kick for Harvey to get to, and we'll have a boundary throw-in. They haven't really gone to Heatley too much going inside 50, Tim. Do you reckon there's a particular reason for it, trying to keep Greensborough off guard?
Well, I think even if Heatley can try and lure one of those intercept defenders along with him, that works in North Heidelberg's favour. But thus far, the Greensborough defenders have held up to stead in the one-on-ones.
Smith getting the tap. Bulldogs lurking around, but it's Greensborough with the numbers, although under a lot of pressure here. Not clean at all by hand, and will force a stoppage. Only 20 metres out now from the Bulldogs' goal as they look to extend the lead.
They've wrestled momentum back in this matchup and taken the lead midway through the first quarter of North Heidelberg. Tap down. Churcott was asking for a hold, but handball comes out from Farinado in the Johnston direction. He just slams it on the boot. Fisher's able to pick it up, not quite. Warsdorp slaps it out of his hands. Bell takes possession, but tackled immediately by Brindley. And just forward of the centre square for Greensborough. Umpire has called for a ball up. There's no ruckman, no player in the vicinity. Umpire just throws the ball up, gets it down to Walsh. Greensborough looking to move this ball forward. Walsh goes in again, tries to spin out of two tacklers.
Well, that was funny. That previous ball up, all three Greensborough players who were initially there ran forward, and Greensborough found themselves with only one mid.
So it'll be Jamie Smith doing the backup ruck work for Greensborough. Slaps it inside forward 50. Brindley goes backwards to go forward. Gets it to Walsh. Kick inside forward 50. McCubbin on the lead. Takes the mark right on the paint of 50. Zach McCubbin. One of the more experienced campaigners. Actually, the most experienced. The most senior games on the list with 177 for this Greensborough side. Goes with a short kick. Probably in a worse position to Andrew Narco.
I was going to say, that's a very hard angle to kick from.
He's going to play it on quickly. Inside forward 50. Hasler's in there. And Riser then takes the mark.
Ooh.
And a bit to do between the two sides. Don't want to give away a free kick either way here. But Hasler has taken the grab and will line up to give Greensborough the lead once again.
Ben Ham very lucky not to give away a free kick there after he pushed it over Brock Cherkov, because that would have been a brutal blow for the Borough as they look to try and restore the lead.
Kicking into the breeze in this first quarter. Jackson Hasler lines up, starts it right, and it's just going to fade that way. So a minor score to tie things up here at Preston City Oval. 2-1, 13 apiece, 18 and a half minutes gone, first quarter.
And with a set shot like that, you've got to aim for that left goalpost because the wind is blowing left to right. Unfortunately, didn't work out there for the Borough.
Long kick towards centre wing. He's Heatley. Got it on the second attempt. Chop of the arms anyway was the call. So Heatley a long, long way from home. So again, wants to go laterally with this kick. Finds Maynard. They'll complete the switch and get it to Whitnell, who's in a good spot here to unload. Opts to handball away to Brody Bale, who almost got ran down. Just got it away to White. Now he's confronted by the Borough midfielder in Marty Fitzgerald. And the Borough do well there to cause a stoppage. 60 metres out from the North Heidelberg goal. Rucks again. Sees Whitnell and Howard. Howard getting the tap. Handball forward, not great for the Bulldogs. One back here by Greensborough. Here's Hasler off to the races. Takes two, bounces along the wing. Sends it inside 50 to a one-on-one. It's going to work out well for McCubbin if he can get out the back. He's able to get away from a Bulldogs opponent. Helped it to go for the handball away to Fisher. Now the numbers arrive for North Heidelberg. And they're going to get their way out of trouble. Maynard finds Tardio. In fact, it's Smith. And he has no choice just to bomb it away. It's a 3-on-1 in favour of the Borough. So Seavers is able to gobble it up, and Greensborough will look again to go forward. Johnston sold the candy. Now he'll drive it long inside 50. McCubbin almost got the mark. Hands off. Glenn, his kick smothered. Trickling towards the goal line. Blakely can't get there. And Greensborough take back the lead, but only by a point as we get into time on in this first term.
Momentum shifting once again, this time in favour of Greensborough. They'd love to get another goal on the board towards the market end in this first quarter. It's going to be Matthews taking the kick out for... Oh, it's Bell, taking the kick out for North Heidelberg. Runs his full measure, then just goes a long kick in the Whitnall direction. Heatley's also in there, neither able to take the mark. Ferranado goes in and under. His handball intercepted by Mapleson, but he is intercepted by McCubbin, and now a quick kick forward for the Borough. Bell's able to intercept that one, and he's going to go with a long kick forward for the Bulldogs, but rising high to take the intercept mark is the ruckman in Nathan Howard. And he'll look to send Greensborough forward once again. Just going to go with a short kick.
Clever. And
finds Hasler. Forward of centre wing. Going to go short once again to Ferranado, but didn't get there on the full. Gets away around one tackler and sends it inside forward 50. A one-on-one contest. Warsdorp leads his opponent to the ball. Fisher's in there. Tries to get a handball out. And holding the ball is called on Bailey Blakely. And North Heidelberg with a bit of a reprieve in the last line of defence.
So Warsdorp's going to hand it off, and the Bulldogs will clear it away. They'll look for Chirkop, who's still in defensive 50. Now on the broadcast side. That ball's a good one to White. Plays on and gets away from Ferranado. White now towards half forward. They're going to make a bit of work here for Heatley. Doesn't get to him. Waited out the back. Now here's where Boomer can impact, but did well to pressure his opponent. He's picked up the ball now, Harvey. Handballs it off to Murphy. Murphy shoots for goal and kicks it. And end-to-end stuff from the Bulldogs. Sees them get back the lead. It's Hamish Murphy with the goal. North Heidelberg now moved to 3-1-19. Greensborough 2-2-14. Went to the 22nd minute mark of the first term.
Fantastic transition football there from the Bulldogs. Really composed stuff, just finding their targets, and then Boomer Harvey in the end just able to win that contest and dish the ball out quickly to Hamish Murphy, who seals a very important goal for the Bulldogs. With that wind advantage, we just know how important it's going to be today. So if you're a Bulldogs fan, you want to see that margin extend out as much as possible while they've got that in their favour.
So back in the middle now. Florence back on the ground after a bit of a rest. Howard jumps over the top of him and gets the tap down for Greensborough. Hunt goes in hard to try and clear this one out. Ferranado's in there, strapped up after coming off with the blood rule earlier on in this contest. He's wrapped up in the middle of the ground. And we'll have another ball up. Howard takes that one out, but comes out off hands to Hunt, who gets a handball over to Brody White, inside forward 50. Heatley on the lead. Sliding to ground was spoiled. And now McCubbin able to get a clearing kick. Intercepted almost by Warsdorp. He leads the foot race to this ball. Paddles it in front of himself. Tries to keep it in. Does well. Inside forward 50 for North Heidelberg. Finds its way to McFawn. His quick kick out. Mark taken by Ferranado.
So they'll just slow things down here. The Borough really would not want to concede another goal, but they've done well to hold the Bulldogs to just 3 majors for now. Ferranado, that hangs in the air for quite a while. Hasler almost took the mark being in front. White, though, got it back. Wallace, Murphy, 60 out from goal. Fantastic smother from Ferranado. Ricocheted over to Hunt. His snap for goal will be rushed over by McFawn. And the margin sits at 6 points. 3-2-20 plays 2-2-14. And the Borough already have this ball outside defensive 50 as they get it to Brindley. Almost took the mark. Didn't, though. And the Bulldogs almost win this footy back, although Greensborough have the numbers to help him out. This is Ben Ham. Wants to go laterally, and he finds O'Sullivan on the paint of 50, out of side. And that's the direction he'll go to again with this kick. Keeps it a bit lower on this occasion, and it worked out much better on this time. So here's Sievers. Just chips it short. Here's Brindley again. Runs to 60 metres. Sends it inside 50. It's cut off, though. Nicholas Matthews there with the intercept. He's been one of the Bulldogs' best defenders in 2024. He's going to switch this ball. And now Ben Giobbi can go. He takes a bounce. Almost ran down by Glenn. But able to clear it away. Heatley has a one-on-one again. Pushes his opponent out the way, but here's Johnston to intercept. Gets past Heatley with ease and Tardio. Ferranado goes back to McFawn. Gets through a couple of Bulldogs, and then his kick's going to be cut off here by Wallace, who's got it centre wing broadcast side. Just slows down for a moment. Left foot ball now. Deep inside 50 to 2-on-2. Harvey got hands. Out the back. Mapleson can run in, and he kicks the goal. Jack Mapleson with the major that puts this margin out to 2 goals. It's 4-2-26. Greensborough 2-2-14. The Bulldogs now with the last couple of goals.
All started with that quick kick out from Greensborough. Parker Heatley put on the pressure and forced an error in the kick, which landed in the hands of Wallace. And a quick inside 50. And Mapleson doing good work. Had a shot on goal earlier, which he missed, but converted that one to make it a 2-goal margin. 25 and a half minutes gone in this first quarter.
That's what the Bulldogs have been really effective at in this first term, just being able to apply that forward pressure, putting a lot of pressure on those composed Greensborough defenders.
Howard gets the tap down the direction of Hasler, but Wallace takes possession. He's tackled and handball intercepted by White, who just a bit confused with what to do with it. Kick inside forward 50. Harvey's there. Was asking for a holding free kick. Nothing doing, says the umpire. And now the Borough able to relieve out of defence. Quick kick comes out and in the direction of Ham, defensive side of centre wing. Just happy to slow things down here. There's only moments to go in this first quarter. He's going to go with a long and high one down the line. Howard's down there, but the relieving mark is taken for North Heidelberg by Smith. Called to play on. Pressure coming from the Greensborough defenders, but he'll go inside forward 50. McFawn's there, so is Heatley. Tackled, eventually gets boot to ball, but it's intercepted by a Greensborough opponent. Now handball over to James McCubbin.
So McCubbin's got it on the outer side, defensive side of the wing. That kick's just gone over the head of Brindley, allowed Smith to take it on the full. Just got the handball away to Tom Rivers, who was the only Bulldog there in support. Has to track back to Matthews. Brody White now in the corner of the centre square. He's able to send this one long towards true centre half forward. Heatley's got 2 to beat. Managed to get a hand onto it. Here comes Hunt the other way. Over to Mapleson. Can handball now to another teammate. And they get their goal again. It's the 5th of the quarter. It's Braden Hurts. And the Bulldogs have suddenly made this an 18-point ball game. 5-2-32 to Greensborough 2-2-14. And Tim, they've been killer on transition so far in this term.
They certainly have. They've been really clean with their disposal, and they're looking dangerous every time they go inside their forward 50. They've got threats everywhere. They've got the 5 individual goal kickers thus far in this first term. And Parker Heatley still hasn't got on the board, so that's another worry. So that's another option, you know, when he eventually finds a way to get himself into this match. But for North Heidelberg, it's a really promising start.
It's one of those worries when you look to defend one forward so heavily, the others can get on top of you, as North Heidelberg have showed in this first quarter. Tap comes down in favour of Greensborough. Handball comes in the direction of McCubbin. He's smothered. Florence sits on top of it, tackled by Hasler. And the umpire will call for a secondary stoppage about 10 metres forward of centre for Greensborough. They'll look to get a late goal and stop this run of 5 for North Heidelberg. Bell's in there, able to get a handball out to Hunt, who's just going to send it long inside forward 50. Tardio with a one-on-one. Got front spot and takes the mark. That was Jesse Tardio. McCubbin started about 3 or 4 metres behind him and couldn't make up that distance. Jesse Tardio will line up after the quarter-time siren for North Heidelberg's 6th straight goal to finish this quarter. We know how much Jesse Tardio loves playing on Preston City Oval. A 2-time best on ground medalist in Division 2 Grand Finals for North Heidelberg. Man on the mark, standing a couple of metres inside forward 50. But with the wind at his back, Jesse Tardio sends it on its way out to the left and got a hook too far. So out of bounds on the full. The scores will stay the same. 5-2, 32 North Heidelberg. Leading Greensborough 2-2-14 after one quarter.